So when I was there, I was taking a look at things. And I was like, okay. And then I started looking at the prices. I said, wait a minute. These prices are crazy. And what really intrigued me, and I don't know when this happened on the timeline, but I saw a property on the land bank for Lucas County, which is where Toledo is, for what was it? It was like $2,888, like very specific number. And I was like, this was on Zillow, and I was reading the description, and the description redirected you to the land bank, and I was like, what is this land bank situation? So I started doing some research, and I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe I need to be buying properties from the land bank. So there were all these stipulations about what requirements you have to meet if you buy a property from the land bank. And one of them was you have to rehab the property within a certain time frame. And then if you don't, you pretty much forfeit your interest in the property. And you don't actually get the deed to the property until you finish the renovations. And I was just like, ooh, that's crazy. But the properties are so cheap. And then another thing is they tend to be in these really rough neighborhoods. So the one I was looking at that was less than $3,000 was in what was supposedly a terrible neighborhood. And I was like, okay, interesting, very good to know. And when I went to go look at it, there were a lot of abandoned houses. And so for me, I was like, ooh, okay, now you have to get into where is this market going? Because if for some reason there's about to be a lot of development or something, or maybe some big conglomerate is about to establish roots in Toledo near that space, you know, it may make sense. But if there's not much going on and there's all these abandoned houses and stuff on the block, I can't really justify making that investment, right? So I was like, okay, maybe not the specific land bank ones. But another thing is I didn't even qualify for the land bank because you had to be a Lucas County resident. And if you were a company or a non-resident purchasing, you had to have already owned property in Lucas County for a year before you could even buy a land bank property. And I was like, crazy. That's how they got me. So I wasn't even qualified to get a land bank property. Nonetheless, I kept looking, and I was like, well, I can own a property for a year and then qualify for land bank, and that would give me time to explore this market, see what it's like, you know, etc. But I was seeing properties for, we already started at less than 3,000, but even just turnkey properties I was seeing at less than 100,000. And I was like, this is interesting. Like, how much do people make around here? Anyway, I had so many questions.